Spoiler alert and mature content warning. These scenes contain major spoilers and some of them contain bloody imagery. If you don't want to know the spoilers or see bloody images, I recommend you to skip some parts. Movies are full of action-packed battles, whether it's a tragic realistic battle between enormous armies or an over-the-top one-on-one fight. Some movies like to go all out in the action scenes and the results can be mind-blowing. I'm a huge fan of these epic battles and therefore I made a top 10 of my favorite amazing battles in movies. Keep in mind that this list is purely opinion based and these are only movies I have seen. I also had to leave out some awesome battles I'd love to talk about more. Let's not waste any more time and start the list. Number 10. Fight with Gogo and the crazy 8080s from Kill Bill. The bride is easily one of the most badass women in any movie I've seen. In Kill Bill we see the bride going through the one horrible situation after the other in order to get her revenge. But each time, no matter how hard the punch is, she survives by giving all she has. Kill Bill has quite some memorable moments, but based on amazing action sequences, I find the highlight to be her confrontation with Gogo and the crazy 8080s. It starts off with an intense one-on-one fight, followed by a one-man against an army fight. It's as hilariously bloody and over-the-top as a sword fight can possibly be. That combined with the excellent cinematography, effects and stunts make this one of cinema's most memorable fighting scenes. Number 9. The Rescue of Morpheus from The Matrix. The Matrix is one of the best action movies ever made. Timeless special effects, great writing and memorable action scenes. Choosing which part to put on the list would either be this or the final fight with Agent Smith, but I chose this one because it's full of iconic moments from the movie. In this sequence we see Morpheus let himself get captured in order to give the others time to escape. They make the decision to rescue Morpheus and from that point on it is a compilation of memorable action scenes. To this day the special effects and the fights are very impressive, and another thing I really love, something I miss in the sequels, is that the agents are an actual threat. Agents are supposed to be these powerful opponents that you should avoid at all costs. For the most part of the movie I actually feared they would interfere with the hero's goals. Therefore it's awesome seeing how well they hold their ground against the agents. It's an action sequence with the right amount of fighting, right amount of jokes, and is perfectly balanced out in the story.
Dodge this.
Number 8. Battle on Ramelle Bridge from Saving Private Ryan. Choosing between this sequence and D-Day is hard. How Saving Private Ryan executed D-Day on the big screen is done perfectly, and I consider it one of the most memorable war scenes in any movie. However, it's the opening of the movie. Based on story structure, I don't know the characters and therefore don't really care whether they're going to make it out alive. I see it more as a way to set the tone of the movie, even though the actual story starts afterwards. The battle on Ramelle Bridge is something the movie builds up to. Most of the movie is about the soldiers going on the mission to rescue Ryan. During the movie there are multiple arguments about whether their mission is good or not, and they even lose some men on the way. Ryan refuses to return, followed by an attack on the village. Like the D-Day opening, you get to see every step the men take during the battle, and like the other war scenes, they show all kinds of different situations that may or may not happen in a war battle. By the time this battle took place, I grew to like the characters and wanted to know how they ended up, and some of them found a tragic death. The battle ends with a strong and memorable quote. These words lift some serious weight on shoulders that already had to carry so much.
Earn this. Earn it.
As stated in the movie, Ryan thinks about these words for the rest of his life, and it even made me wonder what precisely the captain was thinking throughout the film, since he rarely expresses his feelings. I think it's a perfect way to end a movie like this. A strong ending to one amazing movie battle. Number 7. Final fight with the Beast and the Axe Gang from Kung Fu Hustle. Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer are some of my personal favorite action comedies. I considered Shaolin Soccer for the list as well, but didn't add it because it's more of a sports match than an actual fight, although it is very action-packed. The action in both of these movies is so over the top and cartoonish that it's just a ton of fun to watch. All the fighting scenes in Kung Fu Hustle are worth mentioning, like the first fight with the Axe Gang, the Harpist fight, or the first encounter with the Beast. But if I were to pick one, it would be the final showdown between the two strongest warriors in the movie. Like I said, the fighting is incredibly over the top with hitting guys through buildings or creating giant cracks in the ground. It's as hilarious as it is awesome. I've seen Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer a dozen times and I'm sure to see them a lot more. Number 6. Escape from the Goblin Town from The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. What I love about the Hobbit movies is the immersion. How the world has been brought to life is amazing. Each place they visit looks beautiful, each character they meet feels alive, and overall it's a spectacular experience to witness on the big screen. All I could do during the action scenes in both movies is say wow, or laugh my ass off at the epicness. I think the Hobbit movies have a lot of awesome battles like the flashback, the barrel ride, or the confrontation with Smaug, and I'm sure the third film will have spectacular battles as well. But since that movie isn't released yet, I can't include it, and even if it would contain one of my favorite battles, I don't want to wait with this video just to be sure. But I digress. In one of the last battles in An Unexpected Journey, we see Gandalf and the 13 dwarfs fight their way out of an enormous cave filled with goblins. Each dwarf is in action at least once. As always, the sword fighting is damn impressive and each shot looks amazing. Combine that with some hilarious moments and it creates one of my favorite battles and escape scenes in movies.
Well, that could have been worse.
Number 5. The Maelstrom Battle from Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Just wow. That's all I could say about it when I first saw it. The idea of this battle alone sounds freaking epic. Two legendary pirate ships cross together in the middle of a maelstrom and an epic battle takes place between them. We see Barbossa, Jack Sparrow, Davy Jones, Will and Elizabeth together in one massive battle. Next to the stunts, sword fighting, impressive music and pretty visuals, this battle is full of funny moments, like the marriage of Will and Elizabeth or the always clever and goofy moments of Jack Sparrow.
You can do nothing without the key!
I already have the key!
No, you don't.
Oh, that key.
While At World's End isn't the best in the series, it certainly has one hell of an amazing climax. Number 4. The final battle from the Avengers. I have to admit, I'm not as fond of the Avenger movies as most others, but I can't deny that the climax of this movie is freaking awesome. Seeing all these different heroes who have their independent films fighting side by side in one big epic climax is an experience I can't compare to any other movie I have seen. An enormous army attacks the city and spreads chaos everywhere, so it's up to the combined strength of these heroes to defeat the villains and protect the civilians. This climax is full of spectacular effects and hilarious moments. Each hero gets at least one funny line and cool action moment. Again, I am not fond of the other Avenger movies, but this one seems to go all out in the opportunities this concept offers. In the end, I'm glad they chose to release the movie this way because it creates one of the most spectacular climaxes in any movie I have seen.
And I will not be bullied by that! Puny God.
Number 3. The Battle of Stirling from Braveheart. The first hour of Braveheart is pure build-up, and without the first hour of this movie, the battles wouldn't be as strong as they are now. Don't get me wrong, the battle is damn impressive, a very well executed and realistic medieval battle. But what makes it one of my personal favorites is the entire story around it. The first hour is purely about the life of William Wallace and the people involved in his life, and how they tried to live a decent life before the battle takes place. I find all the side characters, and I mean all the side characters, likable. Even the ones that barely have a part in the movie still leave some kind of impression. I was really interested in seeing who they are as everyday persons, and the moment William's wife gets killed to lure him out is actually pretty damn sad. Because of this, it adds so much more to that moment when they go to battle. I know these characters, I like these characters, I know why they're here, and I want to see them succeed in their goal. The battle starts with doubt. The army isn't sure whether they stand a chance and even consider leaving the battlefield. This moment leads to one of cinema's most famous movie speeches.
And tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
When the battle begins, it begins. You get to see every step these men take in battle, and it feels like you're watching an actual fight, how it actually might have gone step by step in real life. The performances, fighting, effects, music, story, and how it's all edited together make it into one of my favorite battles in any movie I've ever seen. Number 2. Battle of Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the extended version. Talking about build-up, The Two Towers also has a great build-up to the end fight and one hell of a payoff. First, we get to see who the people of Rohan are, how they live their lives, what conflicts they have with either themselves or other kingdoms. Aragorn finds out about an enormous army marching their way. The only way to survive seems to prepare for one big battle. Greatly outnumbered, they try to win the battle by using all kinds of methods to deal great damage to the antagonist's army. Like some other battles on this list, we see every single step the characters make during this fight, varying between freaking awesome moments, hilarious moments, countless deaths, and just every single shot is interesting to see. Its scale is easily one of the biggest I've seen in any movie, and based on how long the build-up is, how long the actual battle takes, and just how full of detail every single shot is, it's one of the most amazing battles from one of my favorite movies. And my number 1 most awesome battle in movies is the Battle of Minas Tirith from Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, the extended version. Okay. It might be cheap to put 2 Lord of the Rings battles on top of the list, but hey, this is my list and I can do whatever the hell I want. Lord of the Rings has some of my favorite battles in movies, and I simply can't ignore the others. This battle has it all, the build-up, the payoff, and it contains multiple big and some of my favorite moments in the entire trilogy. There are so many things going on in this big battle, I don't know where to start. We see Rohan declaring peace even after they were left alone in the Two Towers, the one-eyed orc being defeated, Faramir almost being burned alive by his own father who had mistaken his death, which I find easily to be the saddest part in all of the movies, Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli arriving with a big army of undead that massively slaughter the orcs, the Witch King destroying Gandalf's staff, the King of Rohan being killed followed by Eowyn and Pippin heroically defeating the Witch King, Legolas single-handedly taking down a Mumakil and tons of other awesome stuff. This is all done with excellent cinematography, funny jokes and timeless special effects. Again, the Lord of the Rings trilogy are some of my all-time favorite movies, and for me, this is the most amazing and downright perfect battle in all of cinema. So, that was my top 10 most awesome battles in movies. I hope you enjoyed it and thanks for watching.